You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Chris Merrill, KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk in from Mo Kelly. My internet connection went bubonic just before the break. But I appreciate Mark jumping in there and bailing me out. Thank you, sir.
I got your back. Bubonic, hydraulic, whatever you got going on.
Oh, hydraulic?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's not bad. I like hydraulic. We might have to work on that one.
I stole that from Mark Twain. You were sounding like a character out of The Innocents Abroad for a minute there. And that was Mark, your literary moment for Thursday evening.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, you like that?
That is, yeah. I don't even know what to say.
Nothing.
That's all I could say. Nothing. I got nothing on it.
Yeah.
Nothing. If you missed it, I believe, I don't know, yesterday, day before, whatever, this week, the president said that we've got to stop with the mail-in ballots. In fact, I think it was after his meeting with Vladimir Putin. And Putin, according to Trump, told him that it is impossible to have fair election with mail-in ballot. I don't know what Putin's accent is really bad. I don't know if you've noticed. It's just terrible. Putin's Russian accent is horrible. But he basically said your election was, according to Trump, Putin told him the election was rigged. You can't have a fair election with mail-in ballots. Which begs a couple of different questions, which I don't think that you're supposed to, you're not supposed to imagine beyond the surface of what you're told. You're only supposed to take at face value what the president says. President Trump says that he was told by another great leader, someone he respects very much, Vladimir Putin, that our election system is all messed up.
Too much good stuff.
The trouble is that if it's true that Putin told Trump that it's impossible to have fair elections with mail-in balloting, it's basically an admission that Russia is trying to hack our election process and somehow is being used. They're using mail-in balloting and machines to do so. That's one. And two, it would basically invalidate Trump's win where he got, for the first time, the GOP winning the popular vote in 20 years, 18 years. So, no, 20 years. It was 2004. So, are we supposed to actually believe then that that Vladimir Putin said this? That Vladimir Putin told Trump, you didn't win the election, I had to rig it for you? I don't think we're supposed to think that far.
Are you suggesting that the dictator of Russia may not be an entirely credible source?
This is going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
I don't think Putin actually said it.
Oh.
I think that President Trump wanted to bring the issue back up because midterms. And he doesn't want to lose control during the midterms. He doesn't want to look like the guy who couldn't hang on to it. But the midterms are coming, and it's just what happens. So this is the latest, Trump's war on mail-in balloting from ABC News.
President Trump says he will sign an executive order to get rid of mail-in ballots and voting machines. Studies have shown mail-in voting fraud is rare, and in those few instances, the perpetrator was punished and votes were never counted. But the president now says elections can never be honest with mail-in ballots. ABC News Washington Bureau Managing Editor Catherine Falders is here with more.
Don't worry. Catherine Falders, very smart, wonderful reporter. Talked to her many times. Don't want to hear from her right now. He's not going to be able to do this. First of all, for those of you that think he's going to write an executive order, whether you're pro executive order to get rid of mail-in ballots or you're anti, he's not going to be able to. It is pretty explicitly laid out in the Constitution that you don't get to do that. A number of attorneys general and secretaries of state have already threatened lawsuits, and that would tie everything up well before the midterms anyway. So don't even worry about that. But you have to wonder, why is it that after 2020, Trump said, don't trust mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots are the reason we lost. It was very unfair. Look, I watched a movie on YouTube, 2,000 Mules, definitely not debunked many different times, definitely hasn't been disavowed by the actual place that put out the film in the first place. Definitely totally true. I know it's true. And then what happens? In 2022, the red wave doesn't come. Right? The red wave didn't happen. Republicans got no, they didn't, right? I'm trying to think. No, they didn't. So the red wave didn't happen. So the Republican smarty pants said, guys, we got to get back on this. And it became this conspiracy theory. And it's all part of this everything is someone else's fault era that we're in. We point to things that are unfamiliar and we say, that's why I'm not getting what I want. That's why my life isn't the way I want it to be. It's because of the grand scheme and I'm a victim. And then you've got someone championing that. Someone that says, listen, conservatives, listen, Republicans, you didn't lose. It was stolen from you. You're a victim. And so am I. And you see this with people who tend to have maturation issues, emotional maturation issues, logics, incels, racists, xenophobes, and of course, no-account politicians, except no-account politicians are counting on the useful idiots to push that message along. In 2020, massive mail-in voting was new to the majority of the country. And things didn't go very well for one party, and of course, Biden won, and then the Democrats, they had a very good election in 2020, and so what did? They laid the blame on the thing that was different. The trouble is, the stat geeks on the right said, whoa, our voters are using the mail-in voting. We need the mail-in voting for the older voters who tend to be more conservative. We can't tell people not to use it. We're going to lose votes. We can't tell people don't vote because the system is rigged. It's going to cost us. And it did. You didn't see the red wave. So the push shifted back in 2024. And we heard this, get your ballots in early, mail them in now. Every politician wants the mail-in ballots because as soon as you vote, it's locked in. You vote, it's locked. There is no more October surprise when we have people that are using early voting and they're using the mail-in ballots. You don't have a National Enquirer story popping out about the vice presidential candidate having an affair, fathering a child outside of marriage while his wife is fighting off cancer. Right? That doesn't happen now. What a hell of a politician Edwards was too, huh? Whew, scumbag. But now you've got this push to reconnect with the roots, the victim class, the same people who see everything bad in their lives as part of a conspiracy. And the beauty of a good conspiracy is you can't disprove it. A good conspiracy taps into the feelings of helplessness. I lost. How could I have possibly lost? How do I get over this? Wait, you don't have to. All you have to do is fight the shadows. Oh, yes, the boogeyman of the shadows. And then you feel productive. I'm fighting, even if it's futile. It's not unlike during the pandemic, we all went and bought toilet paper. Why? Because we wanted to have some sort of control over those things that we couldn't control. So you believe in the conspiracy even if there is no logic behind it because you want to believe it. It makes you feel better. It empowers you. It relieves you of any responsibility in your own life. And your stress goes from disappointment in everything in your own life and the decisions you've made to anger over some nefarious and nebulous force that's picked on you and made you their target. In other words, you go from being a supporting character, if this were video games, you'd be a non-playable character, into being the main character. You're special because you are worth picking on. Yes, you see, the other party is afraid of you. And so you're a hero if you stand up to those evildoers. And then creating the boogeyman gives the politicians cover to do things that we otherwise would not accept. Look at the redistricting fight going on in Texas and here now. Why is Texas redistricting? Because Trump says we have to do it or else the liberals will steal the election from us. And so California says, why don't we suspend our own constitution, ask the voters to suspend our own constitution so that we can fight back against the evildoers in Texas? And we all become useful idiots Because what choice do we have? I do have a fun exercise if you guys want to do this, because obviously somebody pissed in my Cheerios tonight. Is that fair to say? I am really grumpy tonight. I don't have any idea why. I've had a really good day. I got going on the show today. It felt like a good show, but for whatever reason, the topics have got me really grumpy.
I'm going to say it's Robin.
That's fair.
Made her whip her head right around.
Robin's like, what? I want to play a game. Let's do a choose your own conspiracy. I want to start a conspiracy theory. I think I can do it. I'm going to walk you through the process of doing it. You tell me if you believe me by the time we're done with it. That's next.
You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk. And you can listen anytime on demand of the iHeartRadio app. All right, let's stimulate you. Let's choose your own conspiracy. All right, well, that seems like a lot of fun. Okay, so here we go. I was just telling you about this whole mail-in ballot thing, which is, it works really good because, or works really well, I should say, because we can just say that if we don't win the midterm elections, it's because of mail-in balloting. So President Trump is doing two things. One, he's casting doubt on the system so that he can appeal to the base that says, yeah, that's right, there's this nebulous force that's out to get us. The libs and the vast left-wing conspiracy is taking everything over. And then two, he's already building in his excuse if he loses control of the House, the Senate. Right? I mean, it's very Trumpian. We've seen this play out before. How many times has he told us the election was rigged before the election happens? He pre-excuses things. He was saying in 2024 the election was rigged, and then he won it, and then it wasn't rigged anymore. Right? I mean, it's par for the course. So I thought, how hard is it to start your own conspiracy? And I started thinking about how do we do it. And I think the first thing that we have to do is we have to find something from the viewpoint of one side or the other that we don't like. So I've been talking about Trump and his conspiracy theories and how a number of his base buy into it. So I'm going to pick on the left now because I'm an equal opportunity offender. And I saw this story from the New York Times today because I'm an elitist. The Democratic Party faces voter registration crisis. The Democratic Party is hemorrhaging voters long before they even go to the polls. Of the 30 states that track voter registration by political party, Democrats lost ground to Republicans in every single one between 2020 and 2024, and often by a lot. It is a swing toward the Republicans of 4.5 million voters. Okay? That's your report. Now, I hear that and I go, my goodness, the Democratic Party's messaging is completely off base. The Republican Party has done a really good job of messaging. They are making people feel like they're the fighters, like they're the leaders. The Democratic Party has had feeble leadership. Biden did not project strength, and the country then chose Trump. That's why he became the first Republican to win the majority of votes, the popular majority since Bush in 2004. I thought that's the reasonable explanation for it. But if we were to choose our own conspiracy theory, what would we do? We would take that story, and the story is that Trump won the election and the country is shifting right. All the data shows it, right? But if we're going to try to pitch a conspiracy theory to suckers, what we would have to do is associate that thing that we don't like with someone or some group that we don't like. So if I'm pitching this to people on the left, I go, oh, Trump and MAGA. The country's not shifting right. Trump and MAGA they're cheating. See, we just abandon reason. We abandon logic. We abandon personal accountability, and then we blame everything on the person or the people that we don't like. And then we offer this nefarious explanation. MAGA is cheating. They're changing voter rolls. See, it takes a charismatic leader to sell this, and once they do, people buy it, and then you end up with horrible authoritarians. It helps if you can uncover a plausible but very far-fetched explanation. And you don't have to have evidence. That's totally unnecessary. You could cherry pick fragments of evidence if you want to. And you can twist actual facts that may be useful or just make crap up. Like, you could say, Trump and his minions changed the voter rolls. They deleted votes. They manipulated machines to give him the victory in 2024. The election was stolen. Basically, you're just spitting the same stuff that he said. You're just saying it to the left this time. And they go, yeah, that's right. He did. He told everybody he was doing that when he claimed the other side was doing it. From the story from the New York Times, the swing from the left to the right helps explain President Trump's success last year when he won the popular vote for the first time. He swept the swing states and he roared back to the White House. But then you put your conspiratorial spin on it. You say, you see, I told you Trump can only win the popular vote if he rigs the election. No Republican in 20 years has won that popular vote. And now you expect that more than half the country actually wanted a 34-time felon from Jeffrey Epstein's list to be in the White House? No, of course not. The country already voted him out on a landslide, but now they changed their minds and they want him back. That's not possible. It makes no sense. And the more you appeal, the more that you appear to be appealing to their logic by saying, statistically, it just doesn't happen, you're actually appealing to their emotion, right? And the deeper ingrained the conspiracy theory becomes, it really starts to take hold. Then you make up some facts that counter the actual research by claiming, it's statistically impossible to have 30 states shift in one direction without a major social disruption, like a depression or a war. The country doesn't vacillate in unison like that. It's impossible. And then if you really want to sell your conspiracy theory, you get buy-in. You're going to need an endorsement from somebody viewed as credible. Even if that credibility is only within the conspiracy class, it doesn't matter. And the bigger the name, the better. We saw Trump do this when he's talking about the mail-in ballots. He says, Vladimir Putin told me that you can't have a secure election if you have mail-in ballots. Right? He's using him as the celebrity endorsement. The other thing that you can do if you're trying to create your own conspiracy theory is just make up your own expert. Kind of a man behind the curtain type. The great and powerful Oz, or just Q. Whatever it is, you have to have the perception of legitimacy, right? That was old QAnon's thing, was some sort of an insider. Q knows what's going on. Q is on the inside. Q is a higher up. Q is in on all the meetings. And then, of course, the big one is you have to spread the word. Because you, too, could be a thought leader if you start your own podcast. Yes, be a real-life podcaster. You could add influencer to your bio. Just make sure that you continue to appeal to emotion and a sense of victimhood, that someone is stealing something from you. Someone is hunting you. And then you can just claim to be a champion and provide facts, even if they are alternative facts. You want to make it go worldwide? Start a blog. And it sounds very 2004. It still has its place. So don't call it a blog. Call it a newsletter or a Substack. Do that, and then you can claim that you're a journalist. Training and experience be damned. Or, get this, you could get a radio talk show. You don't even have to be at a powerhouse station like this one. And I mean, it helps. All you really need are legitimate call letters, real call letters that you can add to your signature line or your press release when you're quoting yourself, says Chris Merrill of KFI Radio Los Angeles. And maybe, just maybe, you could land a position in the cabinet or maybe even be president one day. That is, if the vast left-wing or right-wing nationalist, immigrant, gay, right bigots don't cheat and keep you all down. Chris Merrill in from Mo Kelly tonight, KFI AM 640, like everywhere, live. We're live everywhere, too.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Chris Merrill in from Mo Kelly tonight, KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. Listen anytime on demand on the iHeart Radio app. You guys want to hear a rumor? Want to hear a good rumor?
Well, of course.
All right. Yeah. I love this rumor. Rumor has it you're going to get a monster check from the government. I think it's safe to say we can all agree the government loves to give money to people. That is basically the goal of the government. Just give you money. Send a check out. Rumors spreading online that the U.S. government is soon going to be issuing stimulus checks to taxpayers in certain income tax brackets. The claim is that the IRS and the Treasury Department have approved $1,390 stimulus checks that are going to be distributed to low and middle income taxpayers by the end of the summer. Do you know what I love about this? this rumor, which of course is a hoax, it follows kind of what I was discussing before, in that you make something up that seems plausible. By saying that you're going to get a stimulus check, but putting out a number that is obscure. They didn't say you're going to get a $1,400 check. They said you're going to get a $1,390 check. That number is so specific, how could it possibly be made up? Right? Like, well, that's got to be the number. I mean, why wouldn't they just round it if it weren't an actual accounting thing, right? So they say $1,390. Fun little story. When I was early 20s, my parents were moving. We lived in a. This is going to sound like I'm downplaying things. We lived in a poor area of northern Michigan. Now, when I say that, it's not like I was very middle class growing up. It's just that the town we were in, I guess we were considered the rich people. My parents had a combined income. This is no joke. My parents had a combined income in the 1990s of $50,000, and that put us in the top 5% of earners in our home county. So we were rolling in it. We were not. Anyway, they were trying to sell the house, and they were asking. I want to say they were asking like $125,000 for this house at the time, and this would have been right around 20. Golly, I think it was like 2005, 2004, 2005 that they were selling this house, and they only wanted $125,000. But at the time, this tells you just how crappy my hometown is, and I love it. I don't know why, but it's just who I am. It would have been the first house in my hometown that sold for more than six figures, and that would have been in 2005. You remember in 2005 when you couldn't get your hands, this is before the market crapped, you couldn't get your hands on a house in Southern California for under about $500,000? And yet my parents sold the very first house in my hometown that sold for more than $100,000. I think they were asking about $125,000, and they couldn't get anybody to buy it because everything else in town, pretty run down, but they were selling for, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. So my dad did something, and he said, let's try this. So he changed the asking price from $125,000, and I think they had dropped it to like $120,000 or something like that, price drop. So he changed the asking price to something obscure, like $121,851. Something very specific. And he said, let's try this. And the house sold. And I said, why'd you do that? And he said, because I wanted people to believe that number had a very specific target. Like, this is what we owe on the mortgage. The buyer's never going to know that. But if we give them a number that makes it look like this is what we literally have to have this number, then all of a sudden it felt like people were getting it at cost. And he was right. It sold. Now, maybe it was just coincidence that it sold. But when we talk about this idea that suddenly we're all going to start getting this stimulus check of $1,390, that number just seems way too on the nose. It's not $1,400. It's not $1,200. It's $1,390. Have we gotten it? No, we have not. Some of this plays off of the proposal by Josh Hawley, the senator from Missouri, who introduced a bill that would give some tax rebates to qualified taxpayers. Those would be people, I believe, if I recall this correctly, making under $70,000 a year, using some of the revenue from the tariffs that we're taxing people on right now anyway. So it seemed plausible-ish, but of course it's not. It's not happening. We're not cutting a check for billions of dollars to redistribute out of the, like, why would we have the tariffs in the first place? Oh, I know, because we have a gross misunderstanding of how tariffs work. Oh, well, that makes perfect sense. As much as prices are going up all over the place, and so far tonight I told you about Walmart is saying that they are going to have to start raising some prices, and it's hitting the lower and middle income buyers more. Well, I think we talked about prices a little bit yesterday. There are a couple of places that have some good news, and I will tell you what those places are and how your $14 is going to go as far in 2025 as it did in 2022. Inflation be damned. That is next. Chris Merrill in for Mo Kelly.
You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Chris Merrill in for Mo Kelly tonight, KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. You can listen anytime on demand on the iHeart Radio app. Tawala has a surprise for us at the top of the hour, I'm told. Is this a good surprise or a bad surprise?
It's the best kind of surprise.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Forward to that. I always like it. That's a heck of a tease. Well done, my friend. All right, Tawala's big surprise coming up here after 9 o'clock. Also, an update on the Menendai, because one half of the Menendai, E. Menendez, got some news today. So that, I know Mark's been covering that. We'll dive into it a little bit here after the 9 o'clock news. $14 doesn't go as far today as it did just 3 years ago, all because of inflation. Whether it's Biden's inflation or Trump's tariff inflation, we all know $14 just doesn't go as far as it used to did. Well, not so fast, my friends, as Lee Corso used to say, from the gang at KTLA.
Olive Garden is bringing back one of its most popular promotions, the never-ending Pasta Bowl. Yes! The all-you-can-eat offer for $13.99 is back for the restaurant's E-Club members starting today. Everybody will be able to get the deal beginning Monday, but if you're in the E-Club, you get it today. It runs through November 16th.
All right. Today, in this case, was last weekend, like Friday. So it's back. It is going to start on the 25th. So, yes. But you have to be a part of their E-Club. Do I have to pay to be a part of the E-Club? Do you guys know? Is that just like their membership? You just sign up for their app or something?
I don't know, but it always comes with strings, doesn't it? You got to download an app. You got to get a tattoo, something.
Oh. Okay, well, the tattoo thing, we've seen that where you like, get free Taco Bell if you tattoo, the Chihuahua on your face. But I am everywhere you go, you have to download the stupid app.
Yeah, you can't even go to Taco. Well, I mean, you can, but they really emphasize, they lean on you. Even at Taco Bell, get the app. Go through the app. Order through the app.
Have you looked at the difference in price when you go to McDonald's and just hit the drive-thru versus McDonald's on the app? And you're supposed to go through the drive-thru and they say, are you using rewards today? And you go, no, I have a code. And they go, okay, what is it? Why did you ask me if I'm using rewards? What does that even, do I have rewards? How do I use my rewards? My rewards? How does that work? Drive me nuts.
Too complicated. I just want some lousy fast food. I don't want you in my phone.
Thank you. When I go to McDonald's, here's what I want. Hello, welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order? Yes, please. I would like a combo meal, a Big Mac. And yes, of course, obviously supersize that. But give me a Diet Coke. I'm trying to thin down. This is what we should be doing. Nope, got to have an app. Have you looked at the difference in prices? Because all the specials are on the app. So if you just want to go to McDonald's, you're going to pay out the nose. If you use the app, you're still going to pay out the nose, but it's going to smell better. Although McDonald's, I guess, they're in a little bit of a turf war, too. They're lowering the cost of their combo meals after consumers were left sticker shocked by Big Mac meals. They say that climbed to $18 in some places.
Whoa.
Man, oh, man.
You don't see that at In-N-Out.
No, you don't. Let's see. The chain is running $5 breakfast and $8 Big Mac and McNugget combo meal specials later this year, marketing them as extra value meals. Isn't that what they always were? Weren't they always called extra value meals?
Well, I think they change up the terminology so they use all the same words, but it's just in a slightly different order.
Oh.
Extra super secret value meal.
Okay.
Double plus value.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Do you remember when they came out with the 1, 2, 3 menu? But it was like, okay, here's your dollar. It was the dollar menu, and then it became the $1, $2, $3 menu. Then it became the couple of bucks. It's terrible. So I guess now they call them combo meals, but they're going to roll these out as the extra value meals, which is, I always thought that's what they were to start with. I guess not. Let me see. Current Big Mac combo meal discounts. Let me see. Combo in Los Angeles. That's the one that's important. If you were to buy everything a la carte for your Big Mac combo, $12.77. If you get the combo meal, you save almost $2. Still almost $11 for a Big Mac meal.
Seems high still.
It does. Have you seen the new Domino's ad?
No, but I had to get their app too, though.
Oh, me too. Oh, drives me crazy. But they have a really good ad. It's pretty smart. I genuinely believe this is smart. A lot of people they're going after McDonald's because the prices have jumped up so much. So you've seen, what is it, Chili's? It's like $12. You could get this gourmet burger or you could get that burger. I'm like, that's pretty good marketing. But then Domino's had an ad that, they got like their $6.99 menu. So they've got, a bunch of different stuff. You get like, I don't know, 8 chicken wings or you get their, what do you call them? Not the whatever it is. The sandwiches and whatnot. Or they go, or you could get the medium one-topping pizza. And they go, medium one-topping pizza, and then they show it slicing. And they go, for $6.99, you get this. And they go, or you could get a $6.99 burger. And then they cut the burger into 6 pieces. And then you've got a bunch of kids grabbing just a little tiny little piece of burger, and they're like, that's not enough. And I thought, that's really good.
Oh, that makes me sad.
It really does. But I thought Domino's has done a really good job of showing how much value there is in their $6.99 meal. But I got to tell you, my son lives with me still. He is way too old to do that, but he still lives with me. And he still convinces me to buy his dinner every Friday night, so we always get pizza. And I'm glad he likes pizza because it is so much, I get so much more for it. It bugs the hell out of me when I buy a couple of pizzas and I always get some sides or whatever, and it ends up being $50. But I just think I've gone through the fast food place and picked up meals for the family, and it's been $50 before too. And there's nothing left at the end. At least when I spend $50 on pizza, I got some leftovers for a day or two. The
thing about Domino's is, though, less would be more with Domino's. They send me at least one email every single day. It's like, I didn't forget that you make pizza. Okay. I'm not sure how much you think you need to remind me that I'm able to order a pizza from you, but I don't need 1 or 2 emails a day. Certainly not 3.
I'm the worst at ordering pizza. And then they're like, thank you for ordering pizza. Here's a coupon code for 50% off your next one. And then the next Friday comes around. I completely forget I have a coupon code somewhere in my email, and then I never use it.
Maddening.
It drives me crazy. I downloaded your app. Shouldn't my coupon just automatically be downloaded onto the app? Nope.
Just put a chip in me and get it over with.
Thank you. You're following my every move anyway. Chris Merrill in from O'Kelly, KFI, AM 640. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.